long seen by Australia as in its sphere of influence, signed a security pact with Beijing. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Tina Dahealy. Welcome to the Cultural Frontline, the programme that looks at the world we live in through the work and voices of artists. On this week's
Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it. Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
There's not going to be incentives to invest. And what we say today is that's going to drop us from 5th to 30th in the OECD tax competitiveness league tables. I really think he needs to go back to his original instincts, which say, yes, we're going to have a two-tier tax system for businesses. If you invest, you pay less tax. If you don't invest, that's your choice, but you will pay more tax. But that's not what's about to happen, Ian.
Tony, isn't the problem, though, that, there's not much evidence to suggest that the super deduction has actually encouraged much business investment?
No, we disagree with that, Ian. What it's done is, for those firms who were eligible for it, it has absolutely stimulated investment. The problem was twofold, really. One is it ruled out leased assets, so that probably takes out most of your SME community. And secondly, it was only for 2 years, whereas for most firms, their investment cycles are 7 years. Whereas if we had, and we're not proposing, by the way, a super deduction, we're promoting something called full expensing. If that became a permanent feature of our tax regime, if you were allowed to get the cash flow benefits for your investments in 1 year rather than spread over time, we think that would have a massive impact on investment, and it would do, not for everybody, what the super deduction did for a smaller number of firms.
Now, what about green investment? You're quite stark there in terms of what you set out. I guess the collapse last week of British Volt underlines it.
Yeah, look, this is a bit of a shock, right? Because if we're being honest, we have led the world on this in the last 10 years, right? And it's only really in the last year or two that the competitive game has changed. Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act is attracting an awful lot of global investment because of the way it uses tax credits for green investment. And then secondly, the Europeans last week have said, we're going to compete too. Forget state aid and state subsidy. We're going in as well. So suddenly, yes, we find ourselves behind, not ahead on green growth. And I'm pretty confident that if the government accept that challenge and start to think smart about how Britain competes, then we can keep up with them. But let's be honest, we can't keep up with those US levels of subsidy. So we're going to have to not outspend them, but outsmart them.
Is it going to be possible, though, to close the gap? How do you define outsmarting them?
Yeah, look, I think there's a few things we need to do in our green strategy. The first one is that we need to build it off our unique strengths, right? We are geologically advantaged, right? We've got amazing amount of wind. We've got the potential to lead the world in carbon capture and storage because of the North Sea. We've got the City of London, which can be the world's latest green market. So we have some real strengths, number one. Number two, there are going to need to be some subsidies in areas where you need to pump prime technology that is pre-commercialization. But the biggest device are these contracts for difference. That's where government stands behind the risk for the private sector in terms of getting their returns. And lastly, it's the old favorite, planning permissions. You know, we are bending over backwards to try and put cables to connect the grid, to try and keep EV charging infrastructure from upsetting anybody, let alone not doing onshore wind and solar. I'm afraid the reality for the Conservative government now, and it's hard because it's an anathema for them, they can say we're not going to compete on subsidies, or they can say we're not going to compete on planning permission, but they can't say both and keep up with where the rest of the world is moving now.
Now, we've also got some recommendations on the skills and labour shortages. I mean, what I'm struck by looking at what you're going to say today is you seem pretty resigned to the government not changing its current tack on migration.
Yeah, I think that's right. Look, when I talk to politicians in private, they're all clear that our suggestion that you use immigration in the short run, fixed-term visas, until we've got a perfect labour market, they all realise that's reasonable. But they can't say it in public, because they're incredibly aware that the British public doesn't want to see more economic migration. Now, if that's right, and listen, I'm not a professional politician, that's their call, then it does mean that the other policies on the labour market, they need to do all the work that immigration was going to help us with, right? So government's been talking about childcare, but not being that serious about it. We need to get serious about it. We need to get serious about getting people who are economically inactive back into work, and we need to get serious about skills. Business and government both do a bad job at skills. The government spends less on adult skills than almost all our European competitors. Now, immigration is a quick way and a temporary way to solve some of those problems. If you take it off the table, then what have you got instead?
All right, Tony, we've got to leave it there, I'm afraid. Good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for spending the time.
Cheers, Ian.
Some other business news stories for you now. The funerals provider Dignity has agreed to £281 million takeover. The company, which is the UK's second largest funerals provider after the Co-op, is being bought by a consortium of investment firms led by Sir Peter Wood, the founder of the insurers Direct Line and eSure, and Gary Shannon, he's Dignity's former chief executive. Well, Dignity, which operates from more than 700 locations, has seen its profits squeezed in recent years by a growing preference among consumers for cheap, no-frills funerals. Saga, the specialist provider of products and services for people over 50, has confirmed Weekend Reports that it's in talks to sell its insurance underwriting business. Well, the company, which provides both insurance services and cruise holidays, did not name the possible buyer or the possible price. The operation, which is called a Chromus Insurance Company, currently underwrites approximately 25 to 30% of Saga's insurance business. And shares of Fuller Smith & Turner have fallen by nearly 7% this morning after the pub and hotel operator warned that profits for the year will be lower than expected. The company, which owns 208 managed businesses and 175 tenanted inns, blamed the recent wave of strikes on Britain's railways, which it said had deprived it of £4 million worth of sales since the start of October. But despite that, Simon Emeny, the chief executive, said demand from customers remained good and that he was optimistic that 2023 would deliver further sales growth. And the last few years have seen businesses around the world having to cope with constant disruption, including the pandemic, inflation, the energy transition and digitalisation, plus, of course, UK companies, Brexit, all of which has created a lot of work for the management consulting sector. A survey by the Management Consultancies Association, the industry body, suggests practitioners expect growth of 13% this year and 12% next year. Well, joining me now is the Chief Executive of the Management Consultancies Association, Tamsin Isaacson. Tamsin, morning to you. 13%, I mean, most sectors would give their eye teeth for that. It actually represents a slowdown on 2022.
Well, you're right. Last year was unprecedented client demand for services. As you say, digitalisation, IT, cost reduction, sustainability challenges, as we heard, firms trying to progress on net zero, and a huge amount of demand for that expertise to be brought in to consulting firms. And that's why we saw a 25% growth across the market and a huge demand for talent.
What about inflation? Is that generating a lot of workers? And presumably companies are just having to try and cut costs to deal with that, are they?
Well, you're seeing a myriad of challenges for firms, as we all know right now, across the private sector, from the energy crisis to inflation costs, and also staffing and hybrid working and lack of staffing. And all of those challenges are creating great cost challenges for firms, which is why we're seeing a lot of cost reduction programs and advice on business models and transformation, and really external advice advisors and trusted advisors being brought in to try and improve productivity and improve that bottom line.
We just heard from Tony Danker about skills and labour shortages. Are companies trying to plug the gap more by using outside consultants? Is that a sort of short-term fix?
Well, I think there is a shortage in terms of the technical expertise that's needed to transform businesses for this modern digital age. I think also we're seeing a huge amount of demand on sustainability, 80% increase expected on that. So a lot of firms made lots of pledges, but needing experts to really genuinely transform their supply chains and improve. So they are requiring that expert talent for short periods of time to improve their business models.
What's demand like from our neighbours in continental Europe? Because, I mean, a lot of consultants will spend their time going to places like that.
Well, what we've seen actually is a great British success story. So the UK now is one of the leading global centres for consulting, just behind the US, much bigger than any other European capital. And we've seen a trebling of exports as many multinationals know where to get expert consulting advice. And that's based in the UK, not just in London, across 300 offices around the UK. And that's why we've seen that great boom in exports, which can only be a great British success story.
And is this growth being largely confined to the big names, the Accentures of this world, or is it being spread evenly to some of the sort of smaller boutique-y kind of setups?
Absolutely. As you know, the MCA represents the breadth and diversity of the sector, and no, we're seeing huge growth across SMEs, medium-sized firms and large firms as well, and SMEs particularly focused in those core areas such as digital, IT, sustainability, very much driving growth, maybe seeing 30 to 40% growth year on year.
Now, one thing that you look at quite closely is the attitude of younger people in the industry. What have you heard from them? When we spoke about this last year, you were saying that a lot of them were really determined to work from home.
So a lot of young consultants have also participated in this survey, which is terrific, the bedrock of our consultancy profession. And, they're seeing a great movement towards hybrid working, and that's much appreciated in terms of getting that face-to-face time with clients, but also with consultants so they can learn the skills. We're seeing a quarter of consultants wanting more training and development, which is one of the reasons why we've brought in as an industry the new Chartered Management Consultant Award to really give young people that professional journey, that professional award through their consulting career that they can aspire to.
All right, Tamsin, good to see you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Still to come here on Ian King Live, we're going to have a look at how the markets have started this week. Don't go away.
I'm Mark Stone and I'm Sky's correspondent based here in Washington, D.C. Well, the plan seems to be to head to the police station where the policeman who fired the shots was based.
And everything, his memories is all gone.
In almost every corner, this town has been completely destroyed by the fire. I've witnessed a remarkable passion for politics here, but the anger too.
We have to get Trump out of the White House.
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
It's easy to go to politics.
But it's important, it's at the heart of the issue.
I get that that's where the media likes to go.
No, it's not, it's where many of the people we've talked to here like to go.
I report on the biggest stories from around the world. This is a town that is effectively encircled by the Russians. You say it's all fabrication, what's happening in Bucha?
Destroyed my nation.
We take you to the heart of stories that shape our planet. I can hear now quite a few explosions in the distance here in Jerusalem. A very violent series of confrontations here. What do you think of ISIS?
Everybody here knows the truth of ISIS.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Well, the oil price has today hit its highest level so far this year and its highest since the 5th of December amid expectations of growing demand following China's rapid reopening. A barrel of Brent crude will currently cost you $87.99 a barrel. That's up 0.2% on the session. Well, on the equity markets, following Wall Street's solid showing on Friday evening, there were gains overnight in the Asia-Pacific region. The Nikkei in Tokyo rose by more than 1%, while there were also gains in Sydney and Mumbai. The figures there for Hong Kong and Shanghai, by the way, you can ignore those. Those are Friday's numbers because, of course, those markets are closed for the Lunar New Year holiday. Well, in Europe, stocks have largely opened in positive territory. I say that. I mean, the MIB in Milan is now 0.5% underwater. The CAC 40 more or less unchanged in Paris. Talking points in Europe this morning include Nokia. The shares are up 1.75% in Helsinki. That's after it signed a new licensing agreement with Samsung. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is just about in positive territory, 9 points to the good right now. The mining heavyweights coming to the aid of the index there. There are not too many features this morning, but the gold producer Endeavour Mining, its shares are up 1% on a trading update. FTSE fallers, well, they're led by the specialty chemicals group Croda. It's down 1.5% right now on broker comments. St James's Place is another one that's also lower on broker comment right now. Outside the FTSE, interesting announcement this. National Express, the shares up nearly 5%, and that's after it won a €1 billion contract to run services on the German railways. On the foreign exchange markets, well, the euro has hit a 9-month high against the US dollar this morning following hawkish comments from a member of the European Central Bank's Governing Council. As you can see there, the single currency up nearly 0.5% right now against the dollar. This pound, meanwhile, well, earlier on today, it hit a 7-month high against the greenback. It's more or less unchanged right now against the dollar. It's also 0.5% lower against the euro. Well, joining me this morning is AJ Bell's investment director, Russ Mould. Russ, good to see you this morning.
Ian.
So we led our briefs section earlier on with this Dignity takeover. I mean, this feels like a company that's been put out of its misery.
It does rather, and it's a bit of an unusual one in that you actually have the company putting out a profit warning on the day in which the takeover bid has been confirmed. So that was first muted back in January. But yeah, the shares are up a little bit today. £5.50 a share is the offer price. I think the shares peaked at nearly £30. Yeah. So as you say, it's been a very, very difficult time for a business that deals with very difficult times for people. You've had the regulatory pushback in terms of pricing, then you've had more competition. Now the company itself is saying it's having to adapt to the new regulatory environment, and it's seeing, in a difficult subject, its customers choose cheaper packages at the moment. So again, profits are coming under a little bit of pressure.
I mean, older viewers may remember that this, of course, was owned by private equity for a number of years. I mean, it was a bit of a pantomime horse of a company. There were several funeral directors that were sort of slammed together and created this business. Yeah,
it was a bit of and then it went on a bit of an acquisition spree as well. And it's obviously a business that can be run by individual operators and individual crematoria, and they've gradually rolled some of those up. But then ultimately, one of the reasons that markets liked the business for a long time was, dare I say it, it had a degree of pricing power. It's a service that people simply have to use. But I think ultimately the regulator decided that maybe the management team had pushed it a little bit too far and began to say, well, actually, you need to stop that. And that's where there was some pricing pressure. The regulator tried to open up the business to competition, and that's when profits disappointed and the share price really collapsed.
Yeah, it's quite a concentrated market. I mean, Dignity and the Co-op, they've got about 30-odd% of
again, that's that pricing power story, right, in theory. But again, it's a very difficult balance. The regulator will eventually get fed up if they think that you're trying to, push it a little bit too far, and that was clearly one of the conclusions they came to.
Yeah. Now, what about Saga? I mean, it looks like the weekend press has flushed out a statement here.
Yeah, the company said that it is confirming that it is in talks to sell its Acromas insurance underwriting business. It actually does about a third of its underwriting in-house, outsources the rest to LV and well-known names such as that. Again, it's been a difficult time for the company. Pandemic clearly didn't do very much for the cruise ship and travel business. Then the insurance business forced out 2 profit warnings last year. One, the regulator again, this pushback on price walking and how new customers were treated relative to existing customers in terms of pricing. And then in the autumn, it was claims inflation's going up a lot because inflation's going up, cost of servicing, cost of parts, cost of staff. So 2 profit warnings there. Company's got an awful lot of debt, £700 million, and so management have said, we're looking to do this sale. I assume it will free up some capital from the balance sheet and also pay down debt, and less debt means less risk. Less risk can mean a higher share price, all things being equal, and the shares are up, 3-4% this morning, I think.
And again, it's another formerly owned by private equity business.
There is a theme there, yeah. and again, debt is also, you could argue there, a potentially recurring theme as well, in that if you do have a leverage buyout, the debt that's used to buy the business can be pumped into the company, and that debt then can restrict the company's scope to invest, reinforce its competitive position, and without that, then things can get very difficult.
Yeah. Now we also had a profits warning today from Fuller's. Bit of a surprise, this?
In some ways, anything that possibly could have gone wrong to what's actually a very well-run business has. You've had the pandemic, you've then got food price inflation, you've got increases in staff costs for perfectly good reasons. Now you've had rail strikes, so they've already flagged that as costing them over £1 million in the autumn. They've upped that to £4 million today. I guess we could have seen it coming to some degree. I guess one thing is probably a slight concern is that overall business is still below pandemic levels. Again, the strikes won't have helped. And what you do have with this business is very little, if any, debt at all, and a fantastically strong asset-backed balance sheet. They're even, I think last time I looked at the balance sheet, they were using some 1999 valuations for their assets. They said we're going to update that, and on an asset basis, the shares will look amazingly cheap. Clearly, the family stake and the family interest won't permit an asset stripper to turn up and go, oh, well, we can buy this one and chop it down and break up the bits and run off with the cash. That's, I think, for the long-term health of the business, a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it really, you can't stress this enough. It's an exceptionally well-run business.
It is. I think the one thing it might be working against them a little bit is their very heavy city and London and metropolitan focus. I know they've got some beautiful hotels and boozers out in the Cotswolds and things, but that, again, with the train strikes, will have been a bit of a handicap in the short term. You would hope when that situation's resolved, it might work in their favour.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Yeah, they've got a new opening coming up in the Cotswolds.
Yeah, they flagged that. I'll have to check it out at some stage, see if I can try and tied in with a trip to Cheltenham, maybe.
You're talking my language now, Russ. Good to see you this morning. Thank you. Still to come here on Ian King Live. The American billionaire Bill Ackman takes a stake in the luxury watchmaker Bremont. I'll be speaking next to one of the founders.
Interchange, the Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it. Make that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world in adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimota Mall. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it. Make that that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estate. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimota Mall. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Body is your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Online, on mobile, and soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the leading Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's Star Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
They fade, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands, the hand that made me who I am. Same God now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what
This is Starr Radio UK.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. I say a massive hello to you. I hope you all had a very nice weekend. Yeah, in London we really had a nice weekend. Yes, it was sunny but cold. Well, let me welcome you to this morning's edition of the morning show. I remain yours sincerely.
It's the morning show with Archie.
But I'm saying good morning to my team this morning, Mr. Olayomi and to the one and only Linda Pallien, HRH, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. I salute each and every one of you, and I welcome you to the Monday edition of the morning show.
All of you makes my heart beat.
Playing in the background, something from Edith Morrison. You make my heart beat. And that's why I'm grateful to God for giving me life and being able to come here to share my day with you. So once again, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Let me say good morning to my Bishop Adishana. I hope you are doing very, very well. Pastor Momo, massive good morning to you. I'm in the back of you this Mr. Champion Pointility, Mamuna Che. Great you, I salute you, sir. To my brother Felix all the way in Aberdeen, good morning. More you are, good morning to you. Sir Maxwell, good morning. The one and only Anthony Adedeji, good morning. Aziz, I hope you're all doing very, very good. Jasino, all the way in Moscow, good morning to you. I salute you, sir. It's been quite some time. I hope you are doing good. All right then.
Holy, holy.
For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we are streaming live on all the social media platforms and on our own apps. That is Star Radio UK app. When you go to your app store, just type in Star Radio Global. It will pop up whether it's iOS or Android. Just download it. It's for free. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Alright then, so enjoy it. But we're operating live on all the social media platforms, and therefore you can comment, it's an interactive program. And for those who know already, they do so. But at a particular point in the program, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. So once again, welcome. Let me say good morning to the Inspired Day Nesri. Yes, Shireen and the crew there and all the little ones. I salute you and I say massive good morning to you.
That's why forever call you great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you.
Well, it is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord.
Okie dokie do. Well, I'm going to bring you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates, and then we'll move on to some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as global trotting. Then after that, we'll continue to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Well, Mr. Olayomi will join me. Yes, it's at like 11 o'clock to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll see the events that took place over the weekend. But I hope and pray that Nigeria has not happened to you wherever you might be. Then the program continues from there. We'll look at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. And then at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. At 12:30, we bring the first part of the program to a close. Take you to Cyprus, where our own HRH Linda Pallien will be getting herself ready to join us on Career 101. Then after that, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in that case, that's what's going to be happening today. But let me say good morning to Dave West. Dave, I hope that Jenny is feeling much, much better. Our thoughts are with you. We are praying that she feels much better. Dave West was supposed to have brought you a conscious reggae this evening, but the ill health of the wife, he said that he cannot make it. So don't you worry. Once she recovers, Dave West will be in the house. All right, then let's crack on. Be enthusiastic about the future, because all successful people are. So if you're not enthusiastic, you're not optimistic about the future, then you think that there's no point, you know? You want to be sleeping all along. But hey, that's not how it's supposed to be. Alright, now let's move on straight to the weather front. Well, it is nippy here in the UK, especially those of us in London and the southeast of England. My goodness, Felix, my brother Felix will tell me that, look, this is the weather that we live in. Enjoy it and live in it. And shush, Felix, but it is cold, man. Okay, so when it comes to the temperatures, well, temperature, I'm going to be telling you about that in a moment. But this afternoon we'll start with clear spells, but more cloud will build in from the east. The onspot of light rain or drizzle cannot be completely ruled out. Actually, they with light winds as well. Now tonight will turn increasingly cloudy, and we'll see cloud lingering from much of the night. However, it will remain dry throughout. A cold night with light variable winds expected as well. Now moving on straight to the my apologies. The temperature is going to be 3 degrees. The lower is going to be 0. Now UV level is going to be low, and then pollution is going to be low. So sunset 16:34, sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:52 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Now, let me take you straight to the travels this morning and let's see what is happening on your travels. Stay tuned.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, as we promise you all the time. 10:51, let's crack on. Now, on the underground this morning, I can tell you shortly, well, Bakerloo line have got past suspension, severe delays and minor delays on the same route, so please check before you leave. This rail line has got minor delays, and London Overground has got past suspension. Piccadilly line has also got severe delays. That aside, all the others, good service there. On the major roads in London, A4, A41, Central London Red routes have all got closures. A1, North Circular, A406 and then South Circular, A205 have all got serious delays. So please check before you embark on your journey. That aside, all the others have got no exceptional delays. Now, on the riverbeds, good service throughout. The London Cable Car, good service throughout there as well. But when it comes to the National Rail, where we have a bit of issue there, let me bring you that as well. Well, Avanti West Coast, Cross Country, Great Northern, Great Western Railway, London North Eastern Railway, Northern Rail, ScotRail, Southwestern Railway, Southeastern Railway, Southern and Thameslink have all got minor delays. That aside, all the others, no exceptional delays. Therefore, check before you leave though. On that note, let me say it once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Make that move now this festive season to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And it is the Monday edition of the morning show, 6 minutes to the top of the hour, and let's go cracking. Well, on the updates from across the world, the global trotting. Well, when it comes to Nigeria, a few issues here that we're going to be looking at. Aviation workers strike grounds, flights at Lagos Airport. Some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. And petrol may hit 800 naira per litre on subsidy removal, upon subsidy removal there. As well, and more facts have emerged on the death of a 300 level student at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Olayomi Olona, who allegedly committed suicide at his off-campus residence in the Ole area. Now, my question is, what support do we give to these students? What support do we give to these students? I mean, mental health. When what support do we have that we give to those students? We'll be telling you more about that. So that when you see the telltale signs, I mean, I'll be trying to get some of our mental health experts during the course of the week, or maybe sometime next month. We'll be bringing you our own Empress Regina Enima. She'll be telling you more about that. Okay, now let's crack on. Let's crack on to some of the other stories making the rounds this morning. Well, in other parts of the world as well. Well, there was someone who decided to go on a rampage. Well, but I don't get it. And it says that, well, elderly California gunman found dead after killing 10 people. Please identify who can stand as the man who opened fire in an area with a large Asian population. What was going on? Some mental health there as well. Okay, Germany won't block tank exports. That's what the foreign minister said. The country has been under increasing international pressure to send its Leopard 2 tank to Ukraine. Well, and they are saying that they are not going to block it. They're going to make sure they do it. Jeff Zients, to be new Biden chief of staff, report is saying a massive power cuts hits most of Pakistan. Is one of the stories making the rounds there as well. Moving on straight to the UK front. Zahawi determined to stay as Tory chairman allies. That's what the allies are saying. Now the question is, didn't he, was he at the time, did he use his position to actually influence what was going on and now had to pay all that? Well, what are the details there? The BBC chair appointment process, correct, that's what government is saying. The cabinet office said BBC chairman and Boris Johnson denied suggestions of a conflict of interest. Well, he helped to secure 800,000 pounds loan for him, and then he also in the next moment became the chairman for the BBC. So, well, they say it's no conflict of interest, but in this part of the world, they won't let sleeping dogs lie. They will, once it's up, it will be properly up. Well, it is All Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, major Arab states boycott regional meeting in Tripoli is one of the stories making the round. At least 5 killed in Al-Shabaab bomb attack in Mogadishu. It's one of the stories making the rounds on the African continent as well. A Swatini activist Tulani Moseko shot dead at his home. The 52-year-old killing came hours after a speech of defiance by King against opponents of his absolute rule, allegedly saying they should. I'll be telling you more about that in next moment, so you don't miss out on it. Domestic debt exchange. Over 7.5 million insurance policies to be affected. That's what the CIIJ is saying. And then, how can I go up without fighting the demons, Reverend Kuti Boateng? So, if somebody criticizes the person a demon, or if it's a constructive criticism, do you call the person a demon or satanic? I remember when we were later, myself and my brother, that's the term that we use, so the people will not know what we are talking about. We call it monzui and the satanic. Well, the contractor abandoned work after taking 4.5 million Ghana cedis for COVID-19 treatment center in Nalerigu. That's what the Auditor General is saying. Well, the Auditor General's report is quite a mouthful and a gobsmacking. The Cocoa Board, banks have no right to debit account without a consent of account holders. That's what a lawyer is saying. And Paramount Chief received 450,000 out of unaccounted 605,000 funds. That's what Auditor General is saying. That is all pertaining to the COVID fund. That was given by the World Bank. So what does that mean? How did government actually say that they use that money in that particular way? But well, you want to know more, stay tuned and don't you go away. Let's enjoy this tune and then I will come back to you. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. This is from Akosua Owusua, and it says the impossible you do. God does the impossible, and you should be determined to do the impossible as well. Stay tuned, don't you go away. We'll bring him Mr. Olayomi Koiki in the next few moments. So stay tuned, don't you touch the dial.
Impossible you do, that is why you are Lord. The mighty things you do, that is why you are mighty. The greater things you do, that is why you are great. All the glory and honor to you.
The impossible you do, that is why you are Lord. The mighty things you do, that is why you are mighty. The greater things you do, that is why you are great.
24/7.
It's impossible you do. That is why you alone.
The mighty
things you do. That is why you were mighty. The greater things you do. That is why you were great. All the glory and honor to you.
Impossible you do.
Impossible you do. That is why you alone.
The mighty
things you do. That is why you were mighty.
the things you do.
The greater things you do. That is why you were great. All the glory and honor to you.
Your name is higher than other names. Victorious in all your ways. In your name we overcome. You are Lord.
Your name is higher than other names.
Glorious.
Victorious in all your ways. In your name we overcome. You are
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
The best radio show.
Impossible you do.
That is why you alone.
The mighty things.
That is why you were mighty.
The things.
Greater things you do. That is why you were great.
All the glory.
All the glory and honor to you.
All the glory.
All the glory and honor to you.
All the glory.
And honor to you.
All the glory.
All around the world.
And honor to you.
All the glory.
And honor to you.
Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it. Make that move now, this festive season, to your new home address at GHS Housing Estates. From now to 31st January 2023, we are offering you an amazing 5% buyer's discount on all purchases on our expandable 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom detached homes at Cochrane Villa, Pokwase, just 5 minutes drive from the interchange. The Mayflower and the new Hazel Courts at Kuntusi, 20 minutes drive from Achimotamo. Beautiful homes in a serene and gated community with flexible payment plans available. Call us now on 0544 347 980 or 0544 347 981. GHS Housing Estates. View it, love it, own it.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK. Whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi to join in, these are some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria today. Quite interesting ones there, you know. Yeah, okay. Let me bring you that. The passenger stranded at the Lagos International Airport. Yomi is going to be telling you more about that. But let MKO Abiola's widow sued the IGP. Let me bring you that. It says that it says the widow, Professor Zainab Duke Abiola, widow of late business mogul Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, has slammed a 100 billion naira defamation suit against the Inspector General of Police, Osman Alkali, and 3 others. Now, other defendants in the suit filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja marked so are the Nigeria Police Force, the MPF, Engineer Ibrahim, who the plaintiff described as IGP Alkali's son, and her former orderly, that is Teju Moses. Now, Zainab Duke stated that the defendants jointly made false and defamatory publications against her, in which they claimed, among others, that she assaulted Moses and who was then her police orderly. Now, the plaintiff added that she had suffered and is still suffering from the damaging effects of the alleged false and defamatory publication made by the defendants against her. Now, she claimed in a court document that she was framed by one Engineer Ibrahim, who happens to be the adopted son of IGP, in a bid to cover up some monumental bribery and corruption in the Nigeria Police Force perpetrated by the son of the IG. Well, that's quite an interesting one. We want to see the reaction from that story as well. But those are some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria, whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in to bring you all the rest. Now, Buhari appoints new ACGMC Executive Secretary and renews tenure of the LACON NCC DGs. Some of the stories making the round. And it says that Ibori Okowa loyalists dump PDP for APC in Delta. Well, some people are migrating to the other side. These ones are migrating to the other side as well. I find it very to politicians. Stop verbal. Oh, thank you to my April producer. My goodness. Yes, he's doing me good. It's cold here, but he's keeping me warm, right? Good. Okay. I find very to politicians. Stop verbal physical violence. Okay. Now, what kind of violence are they talking about there? Whilst we wait for Yomi, let me bring you those details one as well. Yes, what attacks are they? Is Afendi Ferry talking about here now? Okay, let's quickly. It says that now an Yoruba social political organization, Afendi Ferry, has expressed concerns over increasing verbal and physical attacks characterizing the ongoing election campaigns. In a press release signed by the organization's National Publicity Secretary, Comrade Jari, they're talking about the fact that they have come out to say, you know what, very charged political parties and their candidates to focus on ways they intend to attend to the challenges facing the country, rather than resorting to utterances and actions that border on demarketing of opponents and possibly causing bodily harms on other people. Well, what do you think about all that? More going to be coming your way. It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who has joined in. And let me go straight to him and let me say massive good morning to you, Yomi.
A very good morning to you, and I hope you can hear me back in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Loud and clear, loud and clear. How was the nice cold weekend?
Well, it's been a very bleak one, especially after 2 decades here in UK. There's no way you can manage the weather. That means you have to keep warm, keep the house warm, especially we tell the elderly ones is very, very important, so that, you know, a lot of us, maybe it's not some of us yet, but arthritis is one of the biggest, you know, issues that affect everyone, especially, you know, the black community, as, you know, we came all the way from the very beautiful terrain. You know, the weather is beautiful, but the other side of the globe has a lot of issues, whether in South Africa, in Kenya, in Mozambique. So we thought by escaping the sun, we didn't realize that we were actually coming to face the weather. As I was dropping the children, you know, to the nearby where, you know, they get picked up and taken to the school this morning, and I was coming back home and I could see the grass all completely frozen. And I kept saying to myself, how do we grow crops in this country? Because back home we don't have such a weather, but we have the Fulani terrorists, we have, you know, the monopoly that is not making growth of food in Benue State. You know, Benue State is meant to be the food basket of Nigeria. But there's quite a lot to discuss this morning, as well as usual. I say good morning. We're also broadcasting on the sister broadcast on the other side here, so that means there's a very busy one this morning. It is the 23rd, so we had the full moon. I don't know whether you follow the astrology. I do. It was the full moon on the 21st, just before 9 p.m. here in UK, and that means that it's the lunar year. Is a new calendar month for the Chinese that doesn't believe in the Gregorian calendar as we do. But again, Happy New Year to everyone once again, and it is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and I will slightly come back again to you now in the studio.
Yes, to any one of you celebrating the lunar year, especially the Chinese celebrating the New Year, we celebrate each and every one. We salute you. We wish you all the best. That the year, they said the year 2023 is the year of the rabbit. Okay, I don't know what the rabbit do. Whether you have to be giving birth to lots of kids or something, I'm not sure, because that's one of the things the rabbits do, you know. But whatever it is, we are grateful that this morning you are with us. You are alive. You are well and kicking. But let's go straight to one of the stories making the rounds. I mean, this morning, if you are trying to embark on your journey to the UK or any part of the world, especially coming from Nigeria, you must understand that you are in trouble. Aviation workers strike ground flight at Lagos Airport. Yomi.
Yes, and we're going to come back to that, but you know, just a very, you know, as we lost one of the comrades yesterday in Lagos, and she requested to be buried the same day, even though the burial took place late night yesterday. On behalf of you know, the Starr Radio UK, we are saying to one of the Yoruba comrade, a very hardworking woman that died yesterday in Lagos, and she has been buried according to the Islamic rite, you know, by the family. May her soul rest in peace. You know, she was still part of those attending meetings up to late night Saturday/Sunday, when she was engaging, you know, the conversation around the Yoruba nation struggle. So a very good morning again, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people yesterday, you know, were waking up to this very sad news. You know, Madam Abiodun Yeyelufe, as is known. The last communication with myself and her was on the January the 3rd, January the 15th, but unfortunately she gave up yesterday and she's been buried. Abiodun Tawakali Taiwo passed away yesterday morning, the 22nd of January 2022. So on behalf of Starr Radio UK, we say may her soul rest in perfect peace.
Yes, may her soul rest in perfect peace, Madam Abiodun. And I say it all the time that when you are fighting for a cause, maybe you will not be there to enjoy the fruit of it. However, the people, because you are standing for a cause, you believe in it, maybe your children's children, or something. One of them will come to enjoy that as well. So may I so rest in perfect peace, and may the struggle still continue. All right, then let's go to Yomi for the stories. Over to you, sir.
Yes, it seems all is not going well in Lagos. That is the video background that is coming from the Lagos Muritala International Airport. And as you can see, if you have traveled as of yesterday, which I have a family friend that have arrived in Nigeria, but up to now, the luggage has not been picked up. And the reason for that is the luggage handler are currently on strike at the Lagos Muritala Mohammed Airport. And this is now creating a lot of uncertainty as more passengers arrive. Is also creating a lot of stress, in the system, because for every flight that wants to leave cannot travel, and the one that is arriving is also having a lot of backlog. So aviation worker strikes, and every flight is now grounded in Lagos. We should also be expecting the President Muhammadu Buhari to be in Lagos, I believe today, to commission quite a lot of projects. So maybe it's just part of those targets that since the President is coming, they might take advantage of that. International flight at the Muritala Mohammed International Airport this morning have now been grounded as workers of the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company embark on a strike. According to NACO, the strike is due to salary increment, and affected passengers. And aviation expert Alex Nubu said NACO staff in the early hours of Monday walked out of the international airport saying they were on strike and will not handle any passenger. Even Qatar flight I am traveling with this morning landed and has returned to Doha, and there is no one to handle them. So it seems that imagine a flight came in and have to go back without any passenger. He said passengers are now frustrated as they have been kept outside to avoid a crisis, and no information, announcement, or emails were sent to the passenger. NACO actually handles check-in, boarding, and ramping service for several international airlines like the Air France, KLM, Qatar, Ethiopian Airline, Delta Airline, Virgin Atlantic, and Turkish. Traveler says if the situation is not addressed, more flights will be grounded. Starr Radio UK, what a first day of the week to start as the strike continue now in Lagos State. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, so if you are embarking on any journey, please be forewarned. Being forewarned is being forearmed. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria. Miss Olayomi in our North London studios, and I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we're bringing you everything that you need to know. As I say all the time, it's making the headlines. Why not? We're going to touch on that. Now, Chatham House pilgrimage. Nigerian politicians seek relevance in foreign land, and it's quite interesting because if you look at the fact that they have to come to Chatham House to come and declare whatever their thoughts are, or be pose the questions, the people or the persons who are supposed to vote or make the decisions are the Nigerians who are in Nigeria. Unless, of course, you are telling me that you have a system where people outside the country can still vote. Do you?
Well, not yet, and I don't see that coming anytime soon. A lot of Nigerians, especially maybe the fourth generation born here, will probably, be asking the question, why Chatham House? What is the importance of Chatham House that, all the presidential aspirants have to, come down and speak there, and likewise the INEC chairman. The INEC chairman spoke last week, Tuesday. The last person to speak there on Monday was Kwankwaso. We saw Tinubu there some few weeks ago. Atiku has been there. Peter Obi has been there. So, the article says, the struggle of Nigeria presidential candidate to visit the Chatham House in London, where they have been speaking about their missions and vision. In 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari, Major General retired, was the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, went to sell his candidacy at the Royal Institute of International Affairs, which is known as Chatham House. So it's actually called the Royal Institute of International Affairs. I'm not sure whether we have such in Ghana or Kenya, where we can bring these Tories to come and speak to us, or the Labour Party, or the American. Imagine inviting Joe Biden to come and speak in Nigeria prior before the election in America. So, but Buhari, would deliver an address titled "Prospect for Democratic Consolidation in Africa-Nigeria Transition," initiate the audience of his plans for Nigeria and we have now seen the plan of Buhari after 8 years, because he has actually collapsed the economy as of today. Since Buhari came in, the economy did not even travel from 1%. It was just below that 1%. And it seems now that as the 8 years is winding down, more people wants to come back. We now have the third force, which is the Labour Party, that normally wasn't there before. The former military head of state was accused by the opposition People's Democratic Party for bribing his way to speak in the UK think tank centre, and the APC noted that the Chatham House would never compromise its prestige and integrity and allow itself to be induced financially. We do know that Chatham House get a lot of support from different bodies, so we are not too sure, because we don't have the evidence, whether there's kind of an inducement, by any of these political party to allow them to come and speak right there. But in 2018, the then presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, that is also contesting, also visited London Center to convince the international community on why he should succeed the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari. However, in 2018 was not Atiku's first time at the policy. The former vice president was there during the frosty relationship between the former president Olusegun Obasanjo himself in 2007, that sought the platform of the Chatham House to advance. So it seems Chatham House, is there as an institution that helps the African politics in a way that, when you speak there, you probably gain a bit of momentum or that. But according to the information, Chatham House described itself as the world-leading policy institution with a mission to help government and society build a sustainable, secure, prosperous, and a just world. I'm not sure any of such happened in the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Interestingly, they come out here for all the approval, coming to Chatham House, going to all the events, just to get approval from them. But when election is going to happen, like now, I heard Buhari, I think the other time, making a statement that they will not tolerate any foreign involvement or critiquing of the election that is going to take place. So you come to them for the approval, and when they are saying that, okay, now let's scrutinize what you want to do, you say, shush. I don't know how you think, but well, listeners, wherever you are listening to us from, it is Starr Radio UK, it is out just from Nigeria. Olakunle says, good morning everyone, and I wish you all a blessed week ahead. Much love and respect for everyone, 100%. Now he continues to say Buhari will be in Imota here in Ikorodu today, and also going to Dangote refinery in Epe. Okay, so he's giving you all the updates for that. But in your background, you can see Mr. Olayomi Koike's background here. You can see the rail track. Well, apparently there have been a derailment of some trains. As to whether that was a deliberate one from another group of people who want to abduct people or what, we're not very sure. But Yomi, what exactly took place?
Well, passengers were stranded at Warri Itakpe train that derails in Kogi Forest, and these are the footage that came out yesterday. I mean, we do know that there's sabotage in a lot of things around the world. Nigeria is not also, out of it. We've seen last year March where, Nigerians were kidnapped. We lost Dr. Chinelo. We lost a couple of Nigerians, and millions of naira were paid, to the Fulani terrorists that were actually hijacking the train last year March. At the beginning of this year alone, I mean, this is now the second train attack in Nigeria, and on that particular track, that we know that in the beginning of January, some Nigerians were kidnapped. Some have been rescued. We are not too sure whether ransom were paid, but a train that was plying the Warri Itakpe route has reportedly derailed, forcing many passengers to be stranded. It is said to be the same train where passengers were adopted at a station in Igbenu in Edo State, and it was gathered that the incident happened inside the Kogi Forest. Several passengers were said to have abandoned the train of being fear of kidnap, which will lead to a lot of other issues. It was also gathered that the train left Warri early at around morning, but it actually derailed around 12 p.m. inside the forest between Ajaokuta and Itakpe. The Delta and Kogi State Police Command could not immediately confirm the incident, but however, the manager of the Warri Itakpe Road told correspondent he was just on his way to the scene and will give details. But we can now confirm that that same situation now that line have now been suspended as we speak right now. The question then is, what is the safety of a lot of Nigerians, when you travel? We do travel here on a lot of train, which I do use, especially on my way to the studio on a Wednesday. And the last thing you want to get on a train, only for you to know that the train might be derailed. But the National Rail Corporation have suspend every operation, at the Warri Itakpe train station, as the derails will have to be looked into. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has suspended the Warri Itakpe rail services after the train derailed at kilometer about 30 Ajaokuta Itakpe section of the track. According to the Nigerian Voice, recall that about 300 passengers were stranded inside the Kogi forest due to the incident without any backup of either the police or the emergency. The coordinator of the Warri Itakpe train services, Sami, who confirmed the incident, says security personnel were immediately alerted and drafted to the scene. But from the video, which the audio, even though the audio is not coming out, a lot of them were concerned because of the insecurity that we do know is one of the biggest threats facing Nigeria today. Starr Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi keep bringing you what you need to know. But Yomi, one question on that: do they have? It looks like you did answer it, because once I was pondering over it. Now, in the US and some other countries, we have air marshals. They are on the flights where we know that there is a risk of somebody maybe hijacking or kidnapping or whatever it is. But when it comes to the trains, especially the railway lines, where we know definitely with what happened last year with abduction of people, now has the Nigerian Security Agency, in line with the railways, Nigerian railways, or put or implemented air marshals thing on their trains or their rails at all, to give passengers the assurance that, you know what, I'm getting on this train, I know for sure that if something happens, my life will be preserved or protected some way, somehow. Is there anything of the sort?
Well, not to my knowledge, and I believe even if such is there, maybe they might probably don't want the public to know. But if it is something that is there, maybe that would have probably picked up from this derailment, and at least somebody to assure the passengers that we are here in case of any of the killer Fulanis kidnapping and making a lot of problem in Nigeria, as we know. But from what I heard in that video, I'm not too sure whether this contingency, but we do know that Amechi, the former minister of of transportation, they said last year that there's definitely trains will be attacked because measures were not put there for safety. Again, whether these trains are in full operation or they're just second-hand from China and then painted into the green, white, green, and then put on the track and then eventually derailed. We do know that there was a particular footage that came out last year as well that I think the crude oil or the diesel that they were using actually run out, and they had to just wait to get extra diesel before the train could go off and on again. But yes, you're quite right. We do know that in America, after the 9/11, there were a lot of security upgrade. The air marshals are always traveling, even though you might not know, but they do travel along the the American aircraft that is traveling out of America and back into America. But maybe the government is looking into that. But the question is, for how long are we going to be worried and scared as Nigerians if we cannot go on the road, you cannot go on the track? We do know that last year we saw the Fulani terrorists straight into the airport, I believe in Kaduna. So the question on so many Nigerians is, what is the safest transportation mode of transport today, since any of these situations continue? We will look into whether the government will be saying anything much, but as this government is winding down in less than 30-something days, the question then boils in, what next for Nigerians and Nigeria as a whole?
Well, listeners, if you are in Nigeria today, what do you think is happening there? Are you safe when you are traveling? Do you feel very rest assured that, hey, I can get to my destination in peace? I doubt, but I know that maybe you're on the ground. You can tell us more. Post your comments, and I promise you one thing for sure. We're going to be reading that as well. Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios. We're bringing you updates from Nigeria. Yomi, let me come to you for the rest of the other stories. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. Let's come back. More Nigerians, as the petrol may hit 800 naira per liter, on subsidy removal. The reason why the petrol, even though the last count from the email that was sent to me at the petrol pump somewhere in Lagos State stated there 300 naira per litre, even though it's still being subsidized, but we are still getting, that the subsidy might be removed by the government, and that would definitely make the litre of petrol in Nigeria to go to about 800 naira. Again, for those that probably want to know the exchange rate of that, as of today, £1 gives you 920 naira. So if the petrol goes to about 800 naira, then that means about almost 80p or thereabout. Though it's still expensive here in UK, but let's remember that an average Nigeria will need that 2,000 naira, which is about 2 of that, to be able to eat, according to the United Nations, as Nigeria remains the capital poverty of the world. So many killings still going on in Nigeria. A student committed suicide is one of the headline. A FUTA student that was accused of fraud left a suicide note. More facts have emerged on the death of the 300 level student of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in the southwest, Oluwapelumi Olona, who allegedly committed suicide at his off-campus residence in Alu area of Akure in Ondo State. The industrial design student allegedly hanged himself in his room. What a very sad one for the parent that he left and the friends and colleagues. But the president of the student union of the government of the president of the student union, FUTA, Jesu Femi, while speaking to one of the correspondents yesterday, disclosed that Onona also left a suicide note. He said he left a suicide note and titled it Death Note. There were some messages in it, but we have not been able to interpret it. The note is now in the police custody. The pressure on Nigerians, especially those that are not in crime, and you can tell that this particular person was not pleased, with the outcome. And these are, the question about the management itself. I mean, how do you manage when accusation is made on somebody so that such an incident does not occur? I'm not sure we do have this kind of system in Nigeria yet, but again, once spinal cord is lost, may Nigeria not happen to us. It's not the first time that we have seen this scenario. There was another case of scenario that we talked about last week, that a 25-year-old was killed, strangled, by the police in Lagos State, 3 policemen. The grandmother died after getting the result of the death of this young boy. The grandmother also passed away over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, pertaining to that, that's why I just jumped in. Now, I asked the question earlier on: Do we have any something like a support for students? Do we have support for students in that people in that frame of mind? People, some are coming from home, some challenges from home, sometimes mental health as well, because of challenges that they are facing. Do the universities in Nigeria have anything of the sort to support students?
Well, there's a lot of crisis going on in Nigeria, so the last thing they want to think about is such. From what we're getting, Onona was the financial secretary of his department until his death, so which believes that could be the reason why he has been alleged from what we're getting now. He said when school resumed in 2021 to 2020 section, the treasurer of the department was not around to receive payment for dues. Olona decided to receive the payment from the student. The president requested that he should send 100,000 to him for the department. So it seems that this has got to do within the university, or the management probably don't have the capacity. We do know that maybe the private university will have such, but as I speak to you, most of the public university do not have such capacity to deal with such issues. And it's not the first time we've witnessed such in Nigeria in terms of people being alleged, whether in the offices or universities or secondary school. But the president, the note that he left has now indicated that he was not happy for being accused of crime that he hasn't done, and he eventually committed suicide.
Well, may he so rest in perfect peace. A very sad one there. But listen, if you are listening to us, there is always help. Talk to somebody. At least that will help you. The person will let you see. Say, if you cannot get expert, just talk to somebody who will encourage you. Like, look, there is life. There is life. Apart from today, now, there is life for the future. All right then, Yomi, bring us the rest of the stories. Thank you.
Well, terrorists are beheaded at the Imo local government boss after collecting ransom. The adopted sole administrator of Idato North local government area of Imo State, Chris Oishizu, has been beheaded. The council, who was butchered on Sunday after his adopter allegedly received 6 million naira ransom. The video of his beheading surfaced online. We can show that yesterday, where his killers insisted that there will be no election in the country as well. So you could see that there is quite a lot of things, going on in Nigeria. In Ogun State yesterday, I managed to get a video that was sent to me where these young Fulanis, because they were speaking in Hausa, they had to translate what he was saying. There were 5 of them. 4 were able to run away, but he was actually picked up when they actually kidnapped an individual, a farmer in Ogun State, and ransom of 4 million naira was going to be used, but the security of the vigilante went quickly and he was rescued. Very, very young individual. But the question then is, as all this is going on, will there be election in Nigeria? The spark of the killing going on yesterday again, in Niger Delta area. I received a video where a group of people are saying they're going to blow off the whole pipeline because it seems that the resources is not being used to take care of them, and they want the president to come and talk to them and the governors. And if that doesn't happen, election is not going to hold. As we are doing the countdown, which is about 30-something days left,
33
is the
days.
election 33 days.
Yeah.
Are we going to see an election? Or are we going to see, like the United Nations, the European Union, the United Kingdom, and Australia last week says some part of Nigeria election might not hold? And if election doesn't hold in some part of election, would that give us the conclusive result for those that really want an election to go ahead? So there is a lot of things to discuss between now and the next 33 days. There's more pressure in Nigeria. So let's quickly touch on the other headline, come back straight to you as we go into the social media as well, on what is trending this morning. Once again, this is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. More Nigerians will be running to make sure that they have the new note and probably allow the old note to be out of their hands. But banks battle the new Naira shortage ahead of deadline. 8 days to the January 31st deadline that was set by the Central Bank of Nigeria to stop the 1,000 naira and the 500 naira and the 200 naira note from being a legal tender. Bank automated teller machine in Lagos and Abuja and other part of the country are still dispensing the old note. I mean, Nigeria is just a country that you expect that even the ATM shouldn't be giving you such the old note, but if they are still dispensing it, probably maybe they are going to extend it. Despite the Apex banks and depositing banks assurance that Nigerians will begin to receive the new note, ATM across platforms as at Sunday yesterday showed that many ATM belonging to the financial institution were still giving out the old note. Maybe they're giving it out so that you probably not be able to return it back. I'm not too sure why they're giving that. But what do we do know is quite a lot happening in Nigeria that sometimes baffles you for you to understand. Let's go straight to the social media. President Muhammadu Buhari is actually trending. Worst president is actually trending. And that could be maybe President Muhammadu Buhari as the worst president. But again, that is just coming as a complete conversation. But Momo, why Americans saying Biden is the worst president in history? So it seems that the worst president, a lot of people are already saying maybe Biden is the worst president. But President Muhammadu Buhari, as we do know, has a lot of engagement in Lagos State between today and tomorrow. And yes, I can confirm from the images, President Muhammadu Buhari has now arrived at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium in Bauchi for the presidential campaign of the All Progressive Congress. So I believe he will probably be traveling from there to Lagos from what I'm looking at. But yes, according to the news coming, he has actually arrived in Bauchi to start with. So maybe later on he will be heading to Lagos, because we do know that president will be in Lagos today to commission the largest deep sea port in Nigeria. The $800 million rail will be built to evacuate containers from the 2.5 million Lekki deep port sea. We do know that all these are very sweet talk. You know, Barrow Port, inland port, was also the same thing in Niger State when, you know, Buhari commissioned it, but today it doesn't seem to be functioning. So, you know, we love to commission, but does not mean that it's going to be in full use. So commission is just part of to say money has been spent and it's justified. Let's take a look at other news that is trending at 11:42 time fast spent. More campaign. The Sultan of Sokoto has quickly debunked that he has not endorsed Peter Obi, you know, because he shouldn't be getting involved in politicking, as we do know. So His Eminence Alhaji Abubakar Sadiq, just the Sultan of Sokoto, but the leader of the over 90 million Nigerian Muslims, is highly uncalled for him to smear his person just because he denied endorsing a candidate. He is not a politician. Support your candidate with utmost civility. So quite a lot is going on there. But Ayemojuba, any news regarding Sultan of Sokoto endorsing Peter Obi should be discarded. It is fake news being peddled by the opposition to sow seeds of discord. Peter Obi is still pushing, but likewise as the Biafra sit-at-home continue today. Simon Ekpa, some 3 hours ago, we called the Biafra people. We, the Biafra people, are calling the attention of the world as we are demonstrating our readiness to exit Nigeria this year. This today, 23rd, Biafra land is under lock and key in a civil disobedience. The EU Nigeria observer should take note of this video. This is what awaits anyone. As we also know that the Yorubas continue their engagement, even though it seems very quiet at the moment, but we can confirm that anytime soon, things will come up again in terms of the push for the Yoruba self-determination. But over the weekend, a lot of engagement, discussion goes on in different platforms. As we also say, you know, we lost one of the comment yesterday. So the Nigeria we know today, the question is, are we going to see the same Nigeria in 33 days? Some say that Nigeria should not be divided. The unity can be walked around. And some say the Aboriginal have now been packed into a space and they are not allowed to use their space properly. And I'm sure, Mr. Archie, if somebody take your parking space that it belongs to you, I don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to react, but I got a letter from the council last week says that there's a particular vehicle parked in my area and is actually taking our parking space. So if we don't know it, that means it has to be removed. So the question is, who is taking the parking space of the indigenous people of Nigeria?
That's a big question. Who is taking the parking space? Somebody will come and say, I'm bringing my own truck. I need to park there. And then what happens there? But pertaining to the election, let's just quickly have a look at it. Now, if like the EU is saying and some of the other Western countries are saying that if it happens that they are not able to, some places where because of insecurity issues going on, they are not able to vote or elections are not able to take place, because even the electoral commission boss did say that they are having problem with logistics, sending logistics to various places. Will the election be, I mean, can it be called? Because somebody can say, let's take an example of the southeast and the southwest, that because of what is going on, election couldn't take place at all. If the north and the middle belt have the election, would they say that, well, somebody has become the president? Can they do that?
Well, it's going to be a very difficult one to answer, especially knowing fully well that election has always been violent in Nigeria. I mean, we witnessed that firsthand in 2019. Even as much as there's violence, you know, we still end up getting, you know, the result based on, you know, the numbers of, you know, the voters that comes out. But what I do know that this time around, you know, more Nigerians wants to cast a vote, you know, and I believe the reason for that is because they now have, you know, the third force that they want to push into, into the, you know, the political part of it. I was watching Omoyele Sowore, that was actually also, you know, last week when they were trying to sign the what we call the peace code. And Sowore, from what he says, let's see if we can pick on that, you know, disagree with a lot of them, but let's say a little bit of what Sowore was saying during that event.
The military era. Please, I have political disagreements today. Anybody that was in the military in 1993 that are not the election, including you, every one of you. It doesn't go away. Thank you. Okay, I think.
Showore actually said he's not signing that peace accord because those that should be signing the peace accord are the criminal governors that are using, their political talk to threaten the lives of Nigeria. I'm just looking at the release last week when we were discussing. It is actually in response to the invitation by the Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria. The European Union has decided to deploy an EU election observer mission (EOM) to observe the general election schedule for 25th of February and 11th of March, which is the governorship election. I, representative of the Union for Foreign Affairs, Security Policy, and the Vice President of the European Commission, Joseph Borrell, has appointed Beryl and Andrew, member of the European Parliament, as the chief observer for the EOM to Nigeria. The EU previously deployed election observations to Nigeria in 2003, 7, 11, 15, 2019. But this time around, they'll probably have to observe the exit or the agitation that is also part of this campaign this time around. So they're not just coming to observe, but probably along the line, because if they're not able to, like you said, have a conducted election in the southwest and the southeast, then would that give us a conclusive result? Or are we going to see probably in between that maybe the intervention of the military coup, or what we can say an interim government that will take over? Because if there's no conclusive in this result of the election, who then continue to be the president, since the current one must vacate for the new one to come through? So quite a lot. But Star Radio UK will be on the ground as well. We'll be discussing all these with our team and correspondents in Nigeria, and we'll be reviewing a lot of that. Probably maybe on Wednesday we'll be having a proper in-depth. Should there not be a conclusive result, are we going to see a new president, or will that then bring the final part of Nigeria? All these would have to wait and see in the next 33 days.
Well, it all has to wait, and we all have to wait and see in the next 33 days. But I hope that we are going to be around. But that is where we bring the update to a close. But let me go to Yomi for his closing remarks. Yomi.
Well, as I always say, there's a lot for each and all of every one of us to do while we're still alive. The mother, the grandmother that passed away yesterday, I had a lot of plans, as we all do, but the mission ended yesterday, and 6 foot behind, she's now completely gone, but will be remembered. So if we are still alive, don't be scared. Let's keep the push going on in whatever we are trying to achieve, and I'm sure we will get there. But you can stay tuned with us on Star Radio UK as I'm coming off, where Archie takes you through the rest of the segment. But I'll be back again same time tomorrow as we start the new week. I say, may Nigeria not happen to us.
Okay, Yomi, thank you very, very much. Have a lovely day, and we'll catch up later. All right, then. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And it's now time for me to, I'm going to bring you some lovely tune. You know what? I told you my favorite lady, Yoruba lady who sings the song that I really, really like, which Yomi has to get me the lyrics translated so that I can understand it. And this is Janet. It's already led me. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned. And I dedicate that to our lady and our mom who passed yesterday, who was buried yesterday as well. May her soul rest in perfect peace.
Mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o. ọmọ aládé ni wá látòdè ọ̀run. Adé orí òkè kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ́, kì í ṣẹgbẹ́ wọn. Akíkandìyẹ má kó gbèrè fún kọ̀lọ̀kọ̀lọ̀. Rárá kò jọra. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, ó sì pò ẹ̀tọ́ bàbá rẹ̀. Èmi ọ̀pọ̀ lóko aráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Mi ọ̀pọ̀ lóko aráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Èyí tó yàn ló tún ṣe lọ́gọ́. Bàbá fẹ́ wá, ó tún yàn wá. Wọ́n ṣe wá lọ́gọ́, ó tún wá fá lọ́mọ nísìnyí. Èmi ọ̀pọ̀ lọ́mọ aráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Mi ò pọ̀ lóko aráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ọlọ́run dìde, jọ̀wọ́ má ṣe wòran mọ́. Ìyà ìsọ̀kẹ́ kò pọ̀jù lórílẹ̀-èdè. Ṣé bí wọ́n ló gbé àwọn ebèrò dìjà? Bàbá mi dìde, jọ̀wọ́ jẹ́rìí ara rẹ̀. Èmi ò mọ̀ lóko aráyé, èmi ò sọ nípa orílẹ̀-èdè yóò. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́ o, èmi fòmìnira orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Èmi ò pọ̀ lóko aráyé, èmi ò pọ̀ lóko orílẹ̀-èdè mi. Ìbá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ìtùnú sílẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí. Àní ọmọ aládé jẹun bí irọ́. Ọmọ olówó wáyé ṣàpẹ́. Ọmọ aláṣọ wáyé wá kísà. Ọmọ alágbẹ̀dẹ wáyé súnmọ́ ọ̀run. Òun yí pa wá bí ẹni pẹ̀rọ. Wọ́n yí tún wọn tàbẹ́ ní ìtúṣu. Ọlọ́run fojú wọlé lásán yàn. Yẹtí sí gbé mi àwọn aláìṣẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ máa kéré rà.
Okay, from Jeanette for you. Listening to us in Nigeria, across the globe this morning. Oh, really, me? Okay, let me say good morning to Ruth. Ruth says good. I hope that you are enjoying or you enjoy the music as well. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, with the time now exactly 5 minutes to the top of the hour. And let me announce the lines opened wherever you might be. Yes, call us on 0208-133-2257 or 5802-081-33-2257 or 58. And those of you in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, 0017183032737. 0017183032737. You can also text or WhatsApp us. It is 0753-966-1744. 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. If you want to Skype us as well, you can do so. Our Skype ID is Starr Radio UK 1, and I tell you for sure, I will let you make your points heard as well. Let me say good morning to my brother Koji.